Well, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and let me straight away enter into the presentation. Well, my topic, as I mentioned earlier already, is academic and administrative audit. Academic and administrative audit is one of the major area, or that's a lifeline of the NAAC accreditation. As I shown in the graph, see, this is the lifeline, or this is the heartbeat for any NAAC accreditation process. If you do the academic and administrative audit regularly, properly, and in a structured manner, I'm sure you will be able to get very good rank. But unfortunately, many people consider this academic and administrative audit as a very small thing, and usually very rarely they conduct this academic and administrative audit. If you go to the success story of the colleges which has got plus or A++, they have invariably conducted this AAA at least once in every semester. Then only they can improve their quality concerns. So now, why this AAA? NAAC consistently improve the accreditation process, and higher education institutions has to be familiarized with the constant changes and modifications. As yesterday Mr. Padmuriraj mentioned, NAAC always goes for improvement. NAAC always goes for new systems of accreditation, or new systems of, or new parameters, or even new metrics also. So when we consider this, the recent changes, many people do not know what are the recent changes, or many people do not understand what are the new changes. In order to familiarize with that, we have to conduct this AAA regularly. Then NAAC has prescribed specific methodology and guidelines for conducting academic and administrative audit. As we know, everywhere we are conducting that. This AAA is not only for NAAC purpose, but also is for the total quality initiatives of the college, for other, and benchmark for other purposes like NIRF and all other accreditation process. So if we conduct the AAA regularly in our colleges, this can be utilized for several other purposes also. This AAA are very essential for the excellence in higher education. These are interrelated concepts. This academic and administrative. These are the two terms, academic and administrative. These two terms are interrelated concepts. Thus, in order to have quality oriented academic, there should be a strong administrative background. Then, AAA, as per the NAAC perspective, is the NAAC has evolved tools and guidelines for improving quality for different levels of higher education institution. For the university, they have a different level. For autonomous college, as you know, we have a different system, and even for the colleges also, we have a different system. So by establishing internal quality assurance cell and undergoing external quality assurance process, it is possible to continuously strive for excellence. See, the accuracy, the primary objective of the accuracy is to improve or is to sustain the quality which we have already established. So every time we have to improve the quality, and in order to improve the quality, we need to apply. The monitoring and evaluation of the institutional process require a careful and structured system of internal and external review. We need both internal and external. Only we can improve this AAA. The NAAC expects the institutions to voluntarily undertake continuous academic and administrative audits regularly. Then only we can improve. Then the academic and administrative audit is defined as, academic audit is defined can be understood as a scientific and systematic method of reviewing the quality of academic process in the institution. So it is a systematic method of reviewing. Reviewing is very important, and that's reviewing every periodical review. Without periodical review, we cannot improve the quality. So in order to improve the system, we have to review the present system. The SWOT analysis, we call it in simple sense, it's a SWOT analysis. So in order to improve our standards, we have to understand, we have to review, and we have to understand the weaknesses and the strong points. It is related with the quality assurance and enhancing the quality of academic initiatives of the higher education institution. So we assess the quality assurance and enhancing the quality of the academic activities of the institution. The same way, administrative audit can be defined as a process of evaluating the efficiency and effectiveness of the administrative procedure. It includes assessment of policies, strategies, and functions of the various administrative departments, control of the overall administrative system of the higher education institutions. See, in order to mandate that, we need a lot of policies and practices. So many colleges will have only 2, 3, or 4, or maximum 5 policies. But good colleges or better colleges, they will have several policies for everything and anything. They will have policies and procedures that can be established and followed in a very systematic manner. Now, why we need AAA? It's an integral part and continuous improvement and perfection process. So it's an integral part of any IQAC program and a continuous improvement and a perfection process. So in order to have perfection, we need to have a SWOT analysis. To have a SWOT analysis and all the outcome of a SWOT analysis, we can have a continuous improvement and perfection process. Then NAAC expects the institutions to undertake AAA to monitor and evaluate the institutional processes through systematic internal and external reviews. So we need both. Then to introduce academic reforms, review and their progress and support reforms in the higher education institutions, it is necessary to implement AAA. IQAC is a teamwork. As we know, in all the colleges we have IQAC team. But IQAC team in many colleges, at least I have seen in some colleges, they will work as a separate team or a separate unit, and many faculty members are reluctant or are not interested to cooperate with them. But IQAC is not an individual's work, or it is not a standalone work. It is a teamwork. It's a teamwork of the entire college, the management, the principal, the office staff, or the entire faculty members. So it's a teamwork, and IQAC is only leading or coordinating the work of the NAAC assessment process. Then, when we consider this AAA, there are 2 types of. NAAC has not prescribed any specific methodology, but we have basically 2 types of AAA. That is internal academic and administrative audit and external academic and administrative audit. Internal audit shall be done by the IQAC of the institution, while the external audit is done by an expert team or peers. External audit is done by qualified peers by following NAAC's procedures and formats in the 7 criteria NAAC has already defined. And external audit is conducted by a team consists of 2 to 3 resource persons, preferably NAAC peer team members or experts, maybe for 2 or even 3 days. Then internal AAA. Every institution is expected to conduct an internal AAA at regular intervals to review the progress and activities at the department level and the institution level as a whole. So the internal audit is to be conducted by an internal team, consists of 3 to 5 senior teachers, maybe with the vice principal as the chairman. Principal, of course, may not be the chairman, but principal with the overall control of the principal, the vice principal, and one representative from the management, and the IQAC coordinator and the IQAC heads. So we can select the team, and they will conduct periodic internal evaluation, if possible, at least 2 times in every semester. So then only we can improve the system. Then the stages of academic and administrative audit. The first one, there are 5 stages. The first one is preparing the SSR, self-study report, with evidence-based documentation. This evidence-based documentation is very important, and NAAC will not agree without evidence. So the first and the foremost duty of the IQAC as well as the academic administrative audit is to prepare the self-study report with evidence-based documentation. Then internal peer review. As I mentioned, we should conduct at least 2 peer reviews in every semester. Then on the basis of the internal study, modify the self-study report and present it to the external peer review team. And the external peer review team, preferably once in every semester, can conduct the external peer review and implement the suggestions and recommendations of the external peer audit team consistently in a very systematic and structured manner. Then only we can improve. Then self-study report, SSR, we all know what is SSR, and we are all doing that, especially the NAAC team. One of the major work is the preparation of SSR. So each department, before preparing the SSR of the college, each department shall prepare its own SSR based on the latest 7 NAAC criteria. This latest is very important because recently we know that NAAC is revising their criteria very frequently. Even last November, they have revised. And earlier it was not there. Earlier you should maybe once in a year or once in 2 years they used to revise. But now we are at least once in 3 months, if not once in 2 months or even every month they revise. Of course, this is for quality, not for anything else. Considering the quality standards of other countries and other nations, they consistently improve the standards. So though there are 7 criteria only, these 7 criteria they are not modified, but the parameters and the other structure they are revised. So the course plan and teaching plan along with the program architecture and logic, that's also very important. We should have the program. In many cases we give the course plan and the teaching plan, but there will not be any program architecture or logic. So yesterday Dr. Binu had taken the session about OBE. OBE is very important here. Without OBE, now we cannot go further. So OBE is very important, and when we give the course plan and the teaching plan, this program architecture and logic based on the OBE is very important. For that, we should have an academic planning. Usually we conduct in many colleges, we conduct academic planning meeting is for the preparation of the timetable. Timetable is not the annual academic planning meeting. The annual academic planning meeting, preferably 2 to 3 days, if we can conduct in the beginning of the academic year. Not in the beginning of the academic year, because usually we start the academic year in June in Kerala. Of course, in many other North Indian states, we start it in July. Before June or July, that's in May or June, we have to conduct the annual academic planning. And in that annual academic planning, we have to conduct an evaluation or a retreat or an analysis of the programs or activities conducted during the previous year. And on the basis of that, we have to assess the program planning, including the program architecture and logic for the ensuing year. That means for 2021-22, you have to conduct the annual academic planning in 21 May, then conduct and arrange the programs for the entire duration or the entire academic year. Then innovations is very important. So experimented and implemented for teaching, learning, and evaluation. See, we need a lot of innovations. Many colleges usually complain that we are doing this thing, we are doing that thing. But this NAAC is always looking for innovations. They are not looking for the stereotype activities. They are looking for innovations experimented and implemented for the teaching, evaluation, teaching, learning, and evaluation. See, if you go through the SSR of the colleges that have received A+ or 3.5 and above, we can see a lot of innovations, a lot of new experiments they have conducted. So that way, our innovation is very important. Usually, we project only the stereotype activities. That is not important. We need the innovations. Then the work diary, class diary, and monthly performance report, along with its analysis of the teachers, is also very important. We usually give only some report of the classes taken, but that's not enough. We read the work diary, class diary, and monthly performance report. That's also very important. Then strategies put into practice for the implementation of outcome-based learning. That's PO, PSO, COs. PO, PSO, CO. It's a very simple term, but usually we don't understand it fully. I think yesterday's Binu's session was very useful, and you might have understood about the OBE. Once you practice or once you understand, OBE is very simple, and OBE mapping is very important. Without mapping, just mentioning the PO or PSO or CO is not enough. That OBE mapping is very important. Then, of course, remedial coaching, mentoring, counseling. We don't differentiate between the remedial coaching, or we don't differentiate between the mentoring and counseling, etc. So all these things are entirely different things, not one thing. Usually, in many colleges, we misunderstand or we interpret the things wrongly and do these things, but not in the proper term. So we have to understand what is remedial coaching, what is mentoring, what is counseling, and all those things we have to understand clearly and go according to the self-study. Accordingly, mentioned in the self-study report. Then self-study is in the report. Research, including minor and major project, publication, consultancy, projects, tie-up, collaboration, and joint programs are all very important. This is the area where most of the colleges do not get enough mark or enough weightage. So if you conduct the research properly, what we misunderstand is generally we conduct the research of the UGC only, but research, you can do any research, not only for NAAC or UGC, you can conduct research for the government, non-government agencies, private agencies, anything. If it's an approved research, that's fine. Also, it can be major research as well as minor research, and publication is very important. And that too, publication in referred journal or corpus journal or with the citation and all those things are very important. So citation is very important. Unless you have citation, NAAC will not give you a mark, or the DVE will not give you the proper weightage. And the seminars, conferences, workshops conducted by the department as well as attended by the staff and students of the department outside the college during and the paper presentations and chairing sessions, startups by the students, alumni, and even for the teachers also is important. So these areas, we conduct so many seminars or we attend so many seminars, but not only I'll come to that point later, but what we need in the SSR is all the documents. If we conduct a seminar, we need the brochure, we need the attendance, we need the report, the certificate, the follow-up, and the account statement, everything we need. So without that, it's not perfect, or without it's not complete. So we need everything of that sort. Then this teacher performance appraisal, feedback analysis of teachers, along with action taken report. Action taken report is very important. And department growth plan and personal growth plan, satisfaction survey, and need analysis of students. So these are all very important. We very rarely conduct, or we rarely separately conduct it. We conduct only one activity and we present everything under all these things. We know this feedback analysis or the appraisal is to be taken from various categories, from the students, from the teachers, from the parents, from the alumni. So all these things, it's very clearly mentioned in the SOP. So that way, it's very clear, and SOP, as we know, and as yesterday when our Raj mentioned, it's very, very, very specific and very clear and very user-friendly also. So it's very important that we conduct this teacher performance appraisal, feedback analysis, along with the action taken report, department growth plan, and personal growth plan, etc., satisfaction survey. All those things are very important. Then placement activities, initiatives including soft skill, life skills, career skills, time management, image building, personal grooming, etc., also are very important. So we conduct some placement activities, but we have to clearly specify what are the placement activities we have conducted, how we have conducted, and what are the soft skill or what are the placement training we have given to our students. These are all important. And again, under study, the best or exemplary practices. It's, the green initiatives, the waste management, gender sensitivity, Swachh Bharat, Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat initiative. There are so many initiatives. They have given so many items, but we can select the best one. Usually, this also, we should have something new or innovative. Green practices, everybody will say we have kept some dustbins and all those things. That's the stereotype. That's not important. For green initiatives or waste management, even the plastic waste or the e-waste, so all those things are very important. So we should have something new or innovative. Then only we can improve. That's why I mentioned earlier, once we conduct the AAA or external AAA, these evaluators will be able to give you an idea whether this is a stereotype thing or is that a new one, or if we want to have something new or innovative. So these best practices should be something innovative, something new, not stereotype, which is conducted in all the colleges. Then department icon activities and celebrations. So each department should have one icon activity. Department should have a different set of different initiatives, different activities. So each department should have one icon activity and also celebration of great Indian personalities. We conduct the celebrations in a common way, but that's not important. For a mathematics person, if we can conduct some of the mathematicians or the physics, some of the physics people, or for the history department, some of the historians of reputation, That's more important. We can have the celebrations of Gandhi Jayanti or even Christmas or whatever it may be. So along with that, we should have some department specific great personality celebrations also. Then institutional extension activities and campus community initiatives, campus industry interaction, etc. So extension also, it should be both academic as well as social. Academic extension activities as well as social extension activities is important. Now with the new parameters, the alumni association programs and the alumni resource mobilization is also very important. We have to go through carefully and we have to improve on that. Then the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats and challenges of the department, describing initiatives to address practices that needs improvement. Then, of course, everybody knows the future plans. So everybody should have a vision plan. That should be a short-term vision plan, then medium or a mediocre plan, and a long-term vision plan. The department should have a vision plan. The college should have a vision plan. So without the department vision plan, the college cannot have a long-term or a vision plan. So we should have a department-wise vision plan first. That too, as I mentioned, we should have a short-term vision plan. We should have a medium as well as a long-term vision plan. That's for 1 year, or 3 years, or even 5 years. Then principles of AAA. See, based on the NAAC 7 criteria, the AAA team draw attention to the following points. Focus on teaching, learning, and evaluation process. So the basic concept of any education institution is teaching, learning, and evaluation. So all the activities, what we conduct, anything, even sports, cultural activities, anything, or even the extension activities, it should all based on the teaching, learning, and evaluation process. So how teachers teach both conventional and innovative, how students learn both formal and informal, and how best the students are assessed both for life and career. These are all very important. Then define quality in terms of learning outcomes, which you have already mentioned. This PSO, this CPO, PSO, and CO mapping and aligned with the learning objectives is very important. Then develop a research culture in college. See, as I mentioned earlier, this research culture is missing, or we have not given importance to the research culture in the university. So without developing a research culture, we cannot improve the research environment or research ambience in the college. So in order to have a research culture, we should inculcate that spirit among the students, among the teachers, and even the community. So that type of activities we should have in our colleges. Then consultancy and extension. That's also very important. Consultancy is a very important area which many of the colleges misunderstand or even do not understand fully and do not take it seriously. And also extension also is not taken seriously. Then teamwork, I have already mentioned that, IQAC is not a standalone unit. It's a teamwork of the entire college, including the manager, principal, vice principals, SR, or the entire teachers, students, the alumni, the PTA, everything. So it's a teamwork. Without teamwork, nobody can improve or no college can improve. So evidence-based documentation is also very important. Without evidence, that also I have already mentioned. So in the AAA, we give importance for the evidence and documents. Without evidence, if you do whatever you do, there should be evidence. Even if you purchase a safety pin, there should be a quotation, there should be invoice, there should be payment voucher, all those things. So for everything and everything, we need evidence and documentation. Then continuity and consistency. So what we do is, we do so many things. Every year we take some new ideas. Of course, that's good, but we should have continuity, or we should have interrelated activities, and the entire thing what we do is for the improvement of the students, improvement of the college, improvement of the community, and everybody. Then principles of AAA continues this application of best practices. This we are conducting so many best practices, but what are the outcome, or what are the application of that outcome, or whether it reaches the students or the teachers or the community? We mentioned about the green practices, but whether our students are practicing these green practices or the waste management. We teach a lot of things, or we preach a lot of things in the waste management, but we ourselves do not practice these best practices. So this best practices, the application of best practices is very important. Instead of simply mentioning, we are doing this thing, that thing, what we are doing or what are the outcome or what are the measuring areas is very important. Then community orientation. Then campus community interaction and connectivity is highly important. The college is for the community, not only for the management or not only for the teachers. We generally misunderstand that the college is standalone thing and the college is not a community supported thing, but it should be the vice versa or it should be interrelated. The college should be the motivator or should be the facilitator for the community. And if the community improves, the college also will definitely improve. If the community do not improve, definitely the college also cannot improve. So it should be interrelated. This community orientation is very important. Then alumni and its placement. So alumni is our ambassadors. So without alumni placement, proper placement, the college reputation or the college perception will not improve. So in order to improve this alumni perception or college perception, our alumni should be placed in different places. We are very, very happy that the Vice Chancellor of Mannanam University, Dr. Sabu, was my colleague in the university. So he's an alumni of this institution. And we have many. There are several IAS officers I know. There are several other people also, as I mentioned earlier. Both my children are also alumni of this institution. Then that's a very important factor of any college. So in order to have a reputation, we should also strive for the effective placement of the alumni. Then continuous improvement is another important area. So continuously and consciously strive to improve for the total quality development. Total quality development. We should not, one department alone cannot improve by improving or by projecting one department, the college cannot improve. So it should be a total quality development. The quality of the total development of the students, teachers, staff, and the institution is very important. Then good governance. For any institution, if you have a good governance, it will work properly or effectively or in a very systematic manner. So this can be clearly defined. There should be a clearly defined hierarchy, administrative procedures, practices, systems, etc. The HR and other policies, transparent financial management, complaint, resolution mechanism, etc. are very important. These are all these things should come in the SSR as well as when the external team assess all these things has to be projected or the defects or the suggestions has to come from the internal as well as the external AAA audit team. Then public reception is highly important, especially for the NIRF and all, this public reception. What the public can think or what the external agencies think of our accomplishment, of the needs of the various stakeholders, such as the students, parents, teachers, staff, statutory authorities, society, and the community. This is very important for the better grading or the better understanding of the institution. For that, we have to very systematically and consistently, or in a very constructive manner, we have to improve the public perception of the college. In many of the colleges, we do not get much public perception, and there are some other factors also. Sometimes our students may not give us a good opinion, or some parents may not give us good opinion, but somehow we have to manage. For that, the use of ICT and social media is also very important. This is not only for public perception, it's also important for the teaching, learning, and evaluation process, especially in this period of pandemic. We are using this application of ICT in a very effective manner, and most of the colleges are using it. And that will be a system, that will be an order, maybe in the coming years also. So we have a lot of advantages. Even for these seminars, I understand that we have participants from all of us, almost all over the country. So we can participate from anywhere, from any place, any time. So this way, this is very important, and we can we have to use the social media very effectively. Then advantages of AAA are manifold. There are several advantages. We cannot limit it. It depends on the individual colleges. Not only the one college may not have the same thing for the other college. So the advantages are manifold. This for the students, it helps eliminating unnecessary workload and dwells mainly on those essentially required for the success of a student's career. Then for teachers, it helps clarifying their role and responsibilities and thus avoids conflicts. So they can understand what they are expected to do, and we can analyze or we can assess whether they are doing it or not, and they can do accordingly. Then for employees, it ensures availability of well-rounded students who can contribute from day one itself. Then for the administrators, it gives an insight of the overall quality of the institution, including the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And for the management, definitely, it ensures the proper use of and effectiveness of the process, systems, infrastructure, practice, infrastructure has come again, HR, and facilities in practice of the institution, and to implement corrective measures for the institution. So without any basis or without any recommendation or without any suggestions, management may not be able to improve these facilities and the infrastructure. So the AAA member committee can suggest a lot of improvements and suggestions for this, all the 5 categories for the students, teachers, employees, administrators, and managers. This AAA will have definitely improvements. Then, while preparing the documentation or while presenting before the NAAC team or even before the AAA team, understand the documentation is very important. I said that's the backbone or that's the lifeline of any presentation or any NAAC assessment criteria. So first of all, we have to understand each criteria, the new accreditation process, take it meticulously and seriously. So we don't consider the constant changes. There may be 1 or 2 changes only, but that changes matters. So we have to be, all the teachers, not only the AQC team, all the teachers should be familiarized or should meticulously read and understand each criteria, all the 7 criteria and the parameters. Then only we can prepare the documentation accordingly. Because when we conduct when we prepare the SSR or the IAQ, and the system which we followed last year may not be the system this year. So in order to have a continuous or updated system, we should understand each criteria. Then document everything planned, it's planned, not planned, it's planned, conducted, organized. So everything, there should be a planning, there should be a conduct should be there, execution should be there, organization should be there. So record systematically, properly, and in a uniform manner. There should be a brochure, I mentioned earlier, there should be a brochure, activity narration, list of participants, including attendance, then report, then certificate, all those things are very important. Then prepare, consolidate, and organize all academic and administrative activities and programs conducted during every academic year, or if not in every semester, under review. So prepare and consolidate and organize all academic and administrative activities. Then report all the programs, activities, events conducted chronologically. The problem, we conduct so many activities. We take it for granted and okay, after 4 years, we'll consolidate everything and all. So that's not enough. So every year, if possible, every week, we have to consolidate the activities we conducted, and we conduct so many programs in the department, in the college, in the association, the clubs and all. We conduct so many activities. So we have to report all the programs, activities, events conducted chronologically. So we usually say that, you see, there should not be any criteria for a selection of the items or programs. Whatever we conduct, shamelessly report. Don't feel ashamed that this is a small activity. But maybe the NAAC may be taking that activity as a model activity or innovative activity. So don't ignore any activity, even if it is small. So you report, that's the word they used. So shamelessly report all the activities. So project and highlight important and appealing events and activities. That's also very important. So we conduct so many activities, but the icon activities or the important activities which we feel should be projected in a different way. So project and highlight important and appealing events and activities. So some of the activities will be eye appealing, or the first sight itself, it will be appealing. So give importance to innovations and new ideas, which I have worth presenting, as I already mentioned. Then documentation of the meetings. That's a very important point. See, we usually conduct so many meetings, staff meetings, department meetings, Board of Studies meeting, PTA meeting, club, I mean, so many meetings. So all these things we conduct, we simply write our minutes. That's not enough. There should be a notice for the meeting. There should be agenda for the meeting and the meeting procedure, then the action taken. All those things are very important. So when we conduct any meeting, it should be in a systematic manner. It should be in a standard format. As I mentioned, even for the staff meeting, you should have a notice with agenda. You should have a minutes of the meeting. You should have action taken and follow-up action taken. Everything is very important. Then along with the soft copy of the document, it is good to have a hard copy of the documentation also, so that we can save all those things later and keep everything ready for the presentation. Then in the PPP presentation is very important now. So for the PPP presentation, as far as possible, confined to the criteria wise, but should give an overall picture of all programs and activities. It's important for the department as well as for the college. And so it should be as far as possible confined to the criteria wise. Then the next one is give you supporting documents with hyperlinks. See, on the presentation, we may not be able to give you the full data. We may not be able to give the highlight all those things. So to save the time and to save the slides, number of slides, we need to give the hyperlinks. We can give any number of hyperlinks, and hyperlinks is very important. Sometimes when the peer team comes here, they will ask you very few questions only. So if something is important, they will ask you what is this, what is that. At that time, we can go with the hyperlink. Then ensure quality of the PPP slides. What we see in many colleges, usually we take it very casually. PPP slides are not seriously taken care of. The language, even the photos, all those things are very important. So they ensure the quality of the PPP slides. And now the PPP slides are all very, very simple thing. Or in all the Word format, you get so many permutations and combinations or animations and all those things you get. It should not be very complicated, but it should be simple but eye-catching. Then it should be self-explanatory with bullet points, graphics, and charts. Instead of giving a lot of narrations, let us give self-explanatory bullet points, graphs, and charts. Then, along with this PPP presentation, it would be good to have each department and the college also prepare a short video of 2 to 3 minutes with appealing video. It should be very appealing, covering all activities and present it before the PPP. Because when the team comes, when the AAA team or the NAAC team, peer team comes, if you present that video for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, that will give an overall picture of the department and the college. So if they get a good impression of the college, usually the peer team or the AAA team may not ask you so many questions. They will have the good impression about the department and give you a good assessment also. So in order to that, we need to prepare a video of 2 to 3 minutes. Then for that, don't hesitate to take the services of the computer science department and the computer center of the college. Because we are not, many people are not experts in this area, so we can take the services of the experts in the college. If experts are not available, we can take the services from outside also. So that's very important. Anyway, quality of the PPP, quality of the documentation is very important. Then there are some best practices in the AAA. Conduct internal AAA every month, if possible every month, and external AAA in every semester, if not once in a year. Once in a year is a must, and it will be advisable to conduct it in every semester. As I said earlier, if you go through the success stories of the good colleges, we can see that they have conducted this AAA every semester. Then each college should have a resource team. Along with the accuracy team, the college should have the resource team consisting of good resource persons who can support the accuracy and the college to prepare and upload all the documents. Then make sure that all records and documents are as per the NAAC parameters and the SOP. Now the SOP is very clear and it's very specific. When I used to go for the peer evaluation about some 5-6 years back, this SOP was not very clear, or even the benchmarking was not very clear. We give some marks and finally NAAC will give you the grading and all. Now it's very clear and very specific and in a very simple, understandable terms. So you go through the SOP and prepare our documents according to the SOP. Accuracy may develop a separate site WhatsApp group. As I mentioned earlier, we have to report the activities conducted in the department and the clubs and all. So if you have a separate WhatsApp group, or if you have a separate website. So all these events can be can be loaded or can be uploaded into that separate site or WhatsApp group, and the accuracy team from their office can select whichever is good or is presentable, or if they want any modification and all. It's very easy. So the department should give their, or should report their activities, or should upload their activities at least once in a week. That's very important. So if you present it every week, then it will be very easy. Otherwise, if you postpone it to the last minute, it will be very difficult for us to present it or to consolidate it at the last center. Then establish a data center at the college. So there should be a data center. This data center is consolidating whatever is available with the accuracy team, and that data center is digitalizing the records and presenting it for the AAA team or the NAAC team or for the quality assurance. Then department shall undertake the following requirements for the SSR as well as for the AAA. Then each department should have a vision plan. Then department should have a department board of studies, not only for the university, but not only for the academic, autonomous college, but every college should have a department board of studies. All our certificate programs, diploma programs, all the programs has to be approved with the department board of studies, with all the members of the department. If possible, 1 or 2 experts from outside also can be part of the department board of studies. Then conduct one seminar, if possible, one seminar every year, all the departments. You at least apply, and if you get it, well, good. Otherwise, you apply so that at least not this year, the next year we'll get it. Then at least one extension. That's as I mentioned earlier, academic as well as social activity every year in collaboration with the NGOs or local bodies or whatever it may be. Then apply with the syllabus and course details for at least one new certificate diploma program of national importance with employability opportunities. That's also very important for us. So we have to conduct at least 1 or 2 certificate or diploma programs in our college that should have national importance and employability also. We conduct some programs without any national importance or without any employability, just for namesake, but that's not important. This is very important. Employability is very important. Then, what are the outcome and the follow-up required for the AAA? IQC may study the report and prepare a note and the implementation strategy based on the report of the external AAA. As I mentioned in the beginning, we have an internal audit. On the basis of the internal audit, the IQC prepare a note or prepare the SSR for the AAA team, and the AAA team comes here. AAA team will conduct the AAA, and they will give you a report. And on the basis of that report, the IQC prepare a note and the implementation strategy. They might have given you a lot of suggestions, recommendations, and all those things. So on the basis of that, we need a note and the implementation strategy IQC has to prepare. Then report of the external AAA, along with the note and the implementation strategy, presented before the authorities management of the institution. Before the principal, of course, principal should be knowing it, but still the principal, the governing body, or the management, and all those authorities. And with the follow-up action plan of action to be prepared to implement the suggestions and recommendation of the external team as per the observations of the authorities and management of the institution. So once you present this before the management or the authorities of the institution, they will be giving you some suggestion, or they may be able to give you some inputs. Because if some infrastructure repair or infrastructure addition is required, the management has to give you some financial support. Then only we can grow that. So with that, we have to have the follow-up action plan with that, and we have to frame the action plan for maybe for 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months before up to the next AAA. So if once a AAA comes in the end of the semester, and if we invite for a second semester AAA, all these recommendations should be ready or should be undertaken before they conduct the next AAA. So it should be time bound and it should be implemented as per the recommendations or the action suggested by the AAA committee. Then periodic and structured review, appraisal, evaluation, and assessment of the implementation plan and application action plan. So usually what happens in our colleges, we prepare, the AAA team gives the report, and IQC may prepare some report, and sometimes it may be given to the management. Even if something happens also, we don't follow it up. There will not be any periodic or structured review or appraisal or evaluation or assessment of the recommendations of the or the action plan. Without this periodic and structured review, we cannot improve. So every time, at least every once in 2 weeks, we should have a periodic review of the recommendations received from the AAA team, and we have to conduct that. Then the institution should strive to evolve suitable quality culture in higher education to promote the teaching, learning, and assessment practices. So on the basis of that, we have to improve systematically for the next AAA, and after that again that's AAA, fourth AAA. So if you conduct 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 AAA, definitely you can improve in a very effective manner, in a very systematic manner, and by the end of the 4th year, or by the end of the 3rd year, even 4th year, the college will be ready with a very good SSR, and the college will be ready with all the latest NAAC parameters and structure, and we will be confident that the SOP, all the SOP items are followed and the weightage is systematically taken. Now, I have given a schedule for the IQSC and this AAA. We can have, if it's a small college, we can have a one day AAA. If you have more than 5 or 6 departments, we can have a 2-day session and even 3-day sessions. Some colleges conduct it for 3 days also. So initially we conduct it for 1 or 2 days. Then maybe for 2nd or 3rd cycle, we can have a 3-day like that. So all these things will be there. Then of course we are given a sample report also of the academic and administrative report. Even the internal team also should give a report of the AAA. That the external team also will give you a report of the AAA, and on the basis of that only on the outcomes or the action plan we have to prepare and go accordingly. So these are the general ideas which I want to give you, and as I mentioned in the beginning, AAA is the lifeline, or it's the backbone, or it is everything. If you conduct AAA in a very systematic, in a very structured, in a very proper manner, your success is assured. 50% of the success of the NAAC assessment depends on the AAA, and 50% definitely all your preparation, documentation, and all. If your documentation is done properly, AAA will be very easy. And if the recommendation of the AAA is implemented properly, the documentation can be improved and definitely can be a good system for the NAAC evaluation. To sum up, if you do the documentation properly, if you conduct the AAA properly, and if you improve the documentation on the basis of the recommendation of the AAA, I can assure you that you will definitely get a very good score in the NAAC assessment. I can assure you that if you conduct it semester-wise and a proper good team, you can definitely get 3.5 and above. So wish you all, and thank you very much for listening the session, and wish you all a very, very, very happy New Year, as well as a very fruitful academic year, even for the next year also. Thank you. If you have any doubt on the AAA, you can ask now.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, okay.
Sir, this is Leena Abraham from St. Thomas College, Karanjeri.
Okay.
Sir, according to the revised guidelines, seminars and symposiums and workshops, they have specified one topic as either it should be on IPR or research methodology or on patents.
Yeah. Okay.
So when they have specified a topic, does that mean that seminars and workshops conducted on any other topics is irrelevant, or where can we include those seminars and workshops?
No, whatever they have mentioned, we have to follow that. So there is no excuse. But other things, there are, even for innovation area, we can, if you conduct a seminar for latest anything, and even for pandemic in this COVID, that will be innovation. If you give them a seminar for our students to improve the systems and practices to be followed in the COVID area, that will be an innovative area. So if we conduct other areas, that can come to many. See, now, as I said, we have SOP has given you clear ideas of what we can give. So in that also we have a lot of flexibility. In that flexibility, these innovations, then extension activities, even for this also there are so many these extension activities we have to follow. We have to give a clear idea to the students, and students has to follow. Just to give an idea is not enough. So if we conduct a seminar or conference giving the green practices for the students, that can come under the green practices. We have to follow it, otherwise there is no practice. There's no use. So any program you conduct, it has to be within the 7 parameters, and that has to be within the criteria. So that is possible. That is possible. But what NAAC has given has to be strictly followed. Then only we will get the marks. Okay.
Yes, sir. I do understand about it. I was just thinking regarding past 4. We are nearing to our assessment process. So, what about for last 4 or 5 years, which we conducted seminars and workshop, where to be included? So, as you say, can we include in innovations, but it won't be innovation topic.
Yeah, if it's an innovation topic, you can include in that innovation topic. If it is, suppose if it is, as I mentioned earlier, if it is for green practices or gender issues, you can include in that. And if it is some academic improvement, you can improve in that academic flexibility. All those things can be included. That depends upon the topic which you have conducted. That can be included in that.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. So one more thing I have. Can you just guide regarding a departmental board of study, how to constitute that team? Yeah,
usually for the university and the academy and the autonomous college, we have definite guidelines. But for the other colleges, usually we have the head of the department is the chairman of the board of studies, and all the members of the faculty, all the teachers will be the members of the team or the board of studies, and try to invite at least 1 or 2 experts from outside, maybe from the nearby colleges, or even if the university for K college university is very near, so there will be very good colleges nearby. So it depends upon our association with the experts. So those who did the PhD, you can invite your guides if he is competent. So 1 or 2 experts from outside, because when we present, this peer review is very important. The board of studies for every time. So it's good to have, along with your staff meeting, it's good to have a review of the academic activities they conducted in the college or the departments. Because all the teachers, we are not competent to handle all the topics or the units which are allotted to us. So in that case, we can have an evaluation in the meeting, and we can ask the experts, we can ask the peers. So these things should come in the department. And also for the department or the certificate courses and the diploma programs, we conduct in the colleges, add-on courses, additional programs, and all those. Now, who is giving the approval for this? Usually now we prepare something, and the HOD proposes it to the college, and usually the principal, and we conduct that. Instead of that, why can't we propose this syllabus and regulation to the board of studies, and let the board of studies consider it with some suggestions, let them give us some suggestions, and we can implement, because of that to have a structure. Otherwise, if we are conducting the certificate program of an agency, it's okay. But usually, NAAC gives us freedom to conduct flexibility. So to conduct such programs, we can have a board of studies and all such activities, including the teaching methodology or including the teaching activities, innovations, and all those things. We can discuss with the board of studies or in the board of studies, and with the recommendations, we can conduct the programs.
Very true, sir. Very true. So, can we include retired teachers into, or those who have retired teachers as an expert? Can it be included?
No problem, but it's better to have only 1 or 2, because if many people comes, there will be a lot of confusion. There will be a lot of difference of opinion also. You choose 1 or 2 good resource persons who will be able to contribute you. Usually we see the experts, they come and they will say so many things and they will go. But that's not important for us. We want somebody to support us, somebody to give us some inputs. That inputs is important, and to give us some ideas, some new ideas, some innovations, as I mentioned 2-3 times, these innovations and new ideas is more important. Without innovation, we cannot survive now. Everything depends upon outcome now. This OBE is very important. Without to achieve the OBE, we need innovations. The stereotype has gone. Now we need something new. Our students want something new. Without that thing, we cannot survive. So identify the resource, identify the experts who can contribute something to the department or to the faculty, or in between we can take the classes for the faculty also. These experts can be invited as resource persons to take some sessions, or even when we conduct the celebrations. I told you earlier we have to conduct some the celebrations of important persons related to our topic. So you give the topic to the such resource persons, let them come and take classes. Then of course we may not be able to give them heavy TADA and all. So if you invite, it all depends upon your relationships and your association, your acquaintance with the resource persons. So invite them, choose them wisely, choose them judiciously, and then invite them accordingly.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
Sir, here is the next question.
Yeah.
How often do we have to conduct academic and administrative audit in an assessment period?
Pardon, I didn't get you.
How often do we have to
Yes.
conduct academic and administrative audit in an assessment period?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, see, it's always better to conduct external AAA once in a semester, every semester, because we have the syllabus, the academic activity, and all those things differ in semester wise. So this internal audit, if we can conduct internal AAA, if we conduct it every month, that's good. Then external AAA, at least if we can conduct it every semester, that's well and good, or at least once in a year. Don't go beyond that. Usually we conduct, or usually we plan to conduct the AAA towards the end of the 3rd year or 4th year. That's not important. That's not enough. So to have NAAC also says is continuous improvement. It's not the improvement at the end. At the end, you cannot improve. It's very difficult. Not only that, it's very difficult to retrieve the activities or programs or the innovations conducted during the 1st year or 2nd year. It's very difficult to retrieve. So in order to have a systematic way, in order to have a planned way, we should conduct the AAA, internal AAA every month, and external AAA preferably in every semester. Okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Yeah, any more?
Okay, thank you. I hope there are no further clarifications. I invite Dr. Vinu J. George to propose the vote.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful presentation. I'm sure that the participants have got a very clear picture of the idea that academic and administrative audit acts as a lifeline of the whole IQAC activity taken up by the institution's accreditation processes. Your detailed explanation of the AAA was highly informative. As you rightly described in your session, consistent improvement processes will certainly help the accreditation-related activities of the institutions. On behalf of the IQAC and on behalf of the organizing committee of the seminar, I extend you, sir, our deep sense of gratitude for the wonderful and insightful presentation. Thank you very much, Dr. George James. I also use this opportunity to thank all participants for their cooperation and a very active participation in the Q&A session, which could add more insight. Thank you very much, everyone. Wish you all a day.
Thank you, sir, for your words of gratitude. We are now concluding our 5th technical session. Please fill the feedback form for the session. The link is provided in the chat box. We'll have our validity session post-lunch. The session will start at 1:45 p.m. The lead speaker for this session is Dr. Sabu Thomas, Vice Chancellor, NG University, Kottayam. He will be briefing us on the topic, resource mobilization for research.